we're going to start with Deebo because he's out. And he's coming back, but the Niners are going to have to survive without him. And last year, that would have been tough. This year, it may be less tough. I don't know. How do you think the offense is going to reorganize itself? Who's going to start in place? Let's start there. Who's going to start in place of Deebo Samuel while he's out?
Yeah, that's gonna be tough because the cop-out will be like, oh, it's gonna be more McCaffrey, and it's like, well, McCaffrey was already kind of being like everything for that offense, even with Deebo in the mix. So you're gonna have to start thinking maybe they're gonna start incorporating more Ray McCloud. Maybe we're gonna start seeing finally some more Jordan Mason carries because they probably will pick up the pace with Christian McCaffrey to an extent. Because remember, what was it against the Rams? That was when McCaffrey had to step in because there was no Deebo, right? And it was like this was a must-win game for an offense that's very stagnant. So we saw McCaffrey do it all. He threw it for a pass. He caught for a pass. He did it all. But I think now is you don't really necessarily want to replicate that, especially on a short week. So maybe what you see is a kick in his production a little bit. Maybe like a couple more like receiving catches, utilization that you see from Deebo, and then maybe more Jordan Mason. And then from there, you just incorporate the rest of the little platooning. Maybe Ray McCloud gets a little more run out there. That's how he gets targeted, but he just gets more run out there. Juwan Jennings is asked to be tasked with more responsibilities. I seen Danny Gray get mentioned. I don't think Danny Gray is going to be relevant much of this game. Maybe he'll get like 5 snaps, but I wasn't telling him to see a feature. But I think that's the way it's going to see. You're going to see a kick in CMC's utilization, and then Jordan Mason becomes a little more carry. And then for the rest, you just got to have everyone else pick up the slack.
See, when you keep saying like McCaffrey's usage is going to go up, that kind of scares me because I think you're right. And I think they got to be careful. Like, yeah, you got to win this game, but you got to not get Christian McCaffrey injured down the stretch of this season. And I know it's like Kyle Shanahan and his supporters will say, hey, you can't prevent that. It's football. Baloney. You can lower risk here. And ramping up Christian McCaffrey's usage is already high. Right now, is I think the wrong move. So I like the idea of more Jordan Mason. I think having Deebo Samuel healthy was like blocking Jordan Mason for no reason. I think he's your number 2 running back, if not your number. We talked about this last week. If not your number 1 running back, you know what I mean? Like he should be getting a lot more carries than he is, and he should be getting the ball in the first half, not just the second half. So that's good. And I think with Ray, I think he's going to be the starter because they want that their Z receiver to be like a guy who can also line up in the backfield and be a gadget guy who goes in motion, and that's Ray apparently. It's not Danny Gray. Danny Gray's more like Ayuk. He's an X receiver.
I don't think he's going to get used. Danny Gray, I don't see. I know he had his first catch last week and whatnot, but I don't see how in the heck he gets used at all.
You sure? I wouldn't say that.
Think so? I don't know how.
You said he might get like 4 or 5 snaps, right?
Maybe he'll have to roll him out there by default, but
I agree with that.
How much is he going to utilize?
But I think the quarterback changes things because you saw it. Brock Purdy threw 2 touchdown passes deep outside the numbers in the second quarter, and Jimmy never did that. So now all of a sudden you have what's the point of playing Danny Gray if the quarterback won't look down at that part of the field? Now the quarterback will. I'm just saying, I think it's possible that he might get a target down the field. He got a target last game. He might get 2.
Maybe as a decoy to open things up.
Maybe it's more than a decoy. All he needs is 1. I'm just saying. I think this puts him back in play. I don't think he's going to start, but I think Purdy puts him back in play.
Not going to start, but to get into the mix of things, it's like, all right, now one of our best, if not best players on offense is out. What are we going to do? Let's throw Danny Gray in there and see who can get some routes and stuff. So,
they dipped his toe in there last week
because it'll help put the defense on their heels a little bit, get some more. It forces them to play more respect to the 49ers offense because Purdy's proving hey, you can't just necessarily 1,000% crowd the box. Now they might still do that. They might. It's a short week. It's only going to be a second start. He has a little bruised rib, a bruised oblique, whatever. He's sore, whatever. So they're going to try to force him to put it in his hands because they're going to probably think, hey, we have home field advantage. We've seen rookies crack before.
Yeah, it just feels like they gave him 1 opportunity last week, Danny Gray. He caught the ball. So are they going to give him positive reinforcement or negative reinforcement? Sometimes colleges.
Game too.
Yeah, but still, Deebo was hurt. They gave him a slant. He caught the ball. He could have gone the whole way if he broke a tackle. So I think he might get another target, and it might be
downfield.
I don't know. It might be just because it's Purdy. But in the meantime, Ray's the starter, and he's going to get an opportunity to get some targets. He's going to be the one I'd like to see his usage go up because real quick, when he's targeted this year, He's only been targeted 19 times, but he's caught 12 passes, and the quarterback rating when targeting him is 112, as opposed to Deebo, the quarterback rating when targeting him is 73. I mean, it hasn't worked throwing the ball to him.
They've gone deep to him too, several times this year.
Ray. That's a good point. So before we see Danny Gray out there, I think Ray's going to get a shot. We saw as soon as Deebo went out last week, Ray was in the backfield getting carries and stuff. I think you're going to see stuff like that. And I hope they don't get him hurt playing running back, because now that's the next guy who has to play running back. Ray, you're the 185-pound running back on the Niners now. And if you get hurt, that's too bad, because he's really shown that he's a hell of a returner. I mean, it's like the Niners consistently start at the 30-yard line or more.
He doesn't fumble, which is also key.
He did last year.
This time last year, they had like 6, it felt like.
Yeah, I think that's maybe why Pittsburgh didn't bring him back, but he's really good. So, Ray, you're the next man up.